Shalom. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, so I wanted to tap into these files that, of course, have been released. It's the biggest news within the past week. I just wanted to touch on it a little bit, not go too deep into it, because, of course, when you do, you see all the nastiness and filthiness that we already knew Esau and Edom did. But it's coming out, and now everybody, not only here in Babylon the Great, but across the globe, they're all pointing out Esau, Edom for their wickedness. And they've been doing that, but of course the Lord is going to continue over and over to expose these devils for who they are. And now we see, of course, it's out there. You see all these billionaires, they're getting together. And now we see what they do in order to obtain their riches and to continue to be successful. That's what this whole world is about. You want to prosper in this world, you want to grow in riches, well, you have to perform these wicked acts. That's written all throughout those files. So we're just going to watch 2 to 3 videos, and then we'll grab some precepts going into just people calling it out and certain things that are happening surrounding these files. So we'll watch this one first. It's Democratic whatever. His name is Ted Lieu, and he slammed the Department of Justice for dismissing what he claims are highly disturbing allegations of Trump. So let's check it out. Democratic representative, that's the word.
So why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. So I encourage the press to go look at these allegations, and I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, that's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these sex parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment at that party, yes, you're guilty, because patronizing is part of the law, of the federal sex trafficking law. So Deputy General Todd Blanche just got that wrong, which maybe explains why they aren't investigating all these folks, including Donald Trump. He needs to read the law and investigate these people. He also needs to resign, not only for not knowing the law, but a massive, not only screw up, but the biggest privacy violation in history. They release a lot of pictures of minors unredacted, just violated the privacy of these girls. It is uncalled for what they did. The one thing that they could not do under this law was to invade the privacy of these women now, who were girls at the time, who were victims of sex trafficking. Also, he met with Ghislaine Maxwell, moved her to a minimum security prison, and then got a puppy for her. So for all those reasons, he's just got to leave the Department of Justice. So why?
Yeah, and he called it straight. Everybody's going around saying these young adults or young women. No, they were children. That's what they were, of course. And Trump, everybody, they're being called out. These are your leaders. These are the people that run this so-called free world, that are running America, Babylon the Great, in positions of authority and making decisions that impact our lives. And this is why we preach about Yahushai's kingdom to come, because it talks about how there's going to be righteousness here on earth. That's not happening right now. That's not happening right now. Let's watch another one before we grab some more precepts, or some precepts.
Well, it's official, and I'll show you the video. Trump has ordered the Department of Justice to no longer prosecute men who abuse women and children. He's decided that the men inside the files will not be held accountable, and that the rest of us should just get over it and move on, because this case is over and done with. Todd Blanche said they won't be prosecuting anyone either, because it's not actually a crime to party with Epstein. Trump continues to say it was a hoax, even though we have seen the pictures, we've seen the videos, and we've seen the emails of these men, these disgusting men, arranging visits with children. Trump's decided that those men will go free. They will roam amongst us and continue to abuse women and children. Do we understand that the official position of the U.S. government, of the Department of Justice, is that abusing women and children is not illegal, and they will not prosecute these men for any of the crimes?
I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else.
Well, it's official.
Yeah, it's time for the country to move on. You know, it's no big deal. All those millions of documents and hundreds and thousands of pictures, and you've seen everybody in there and all the females that have stepped up and said certain things, but no, it doesn't matter. The Department of Justice, the DOJ, they're like, look, you know, this is just proof of partying, and that's it. You know, it's over. Trump is like, look, the country needs to just get over it. Get over, I'm not even going to say it. I was going to repeat it, but I don't feel right repeating it. But you heard it. Get over, yeah, all that nastiness. Just whatever. Move on to something else is what they're saying. This last video, before we grab some precepts, is just it's just Trump talking and him deflecting. He's going to try to deflect questions that were asked to him about these files. Let's check it out.
I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people
like
who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare,
justice, Mr. President?
something that people care about? Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they've gotten
You are the
justice?
worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face. You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead. I think it's time.
3 videos were done. We saw it. We heard it. And you saw all he can do is say, look, it's time to get over this. And then he deflects. He goes to basically insulting the woman who's asking him a question about something, in a way, you can say, impacts the whole U.S. These freaky, nasty individuals are still roaming free. They're still roaming buck wild these streets, doing whatever they want to do. Well, shoot, you got one of them in the office. And there's probably more of them in that White House, too. But, shoot, the man at the top, Trump, he's in there thousands of times. And you heard that Democratic representative, what he was saying concerning Trump and the allegations toward him in there. But the DOJ is like, look, we're not even going to investigate this any further. They were just partying. It's not a crime. Trump is saying, look, get over it. It's, you know, let's talk about something more pressing, healthcare. And that's all they can do. So what's happening right now, what's been happening for a while, but especially with these files, is Esau Edom is just being exposed. And really that's exposing Babylon the Great, America, for how corrupt this place is in general. This place was built off of corruption, built off of lies and deception and wickedness. So that's what Isaiah 47 goes into. We'll read this in the King James on the left. Isaiah 47:1 says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. This is talking about America. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, because this place is currently going down right now. And it will go down officially when Yahushua returns. It says, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, America again, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg. Uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers. I want to read verse 2 in the NLT. It says, take heavy millstones and grind flour. Remove your veil and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view. So we're seeing America's nakedness, and of course Esau's nakedness as well. which represents their shame. They're being exposed right now, and it's being put out there. You got your own people in the office pointing you out. And which, of course, you have the whole two horns. So you have the Democrats and the Republicans, and they're supposedly against each other. They have different views, whatever, at the end of the day. But still, you still have your own people in your office, and they're talking about you and how basically you're a corrupt, not even president, but just individual. Corrupt individual. And everybody sees it. If we would have went to the comment board, you would have seen, of course, everybody just bashing this man Trump. What kind of country, runs where you can just talk down on the president, the so-called king, the ruler, and you can just bash him? So he's being exposed on all ends, and this is why we preach of Yahweh Shai's return. We're looking for righteousness to reign, as I said in the beginning. That's what we're fighting for. Verse 3. Yeah, I'll read verse 3 in the NLT. You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you with pity. You without pity. Damn. You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you without pity. And this place is going to go down by fire. All right, it's going to go down by fire. Nuclear missiles, and also the fire from those chariots in the midst of World War III. And at that time, the elect out of the nation of Israel is going to be delivered. Then moving forward, that's when the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, the kingdom of David, the tabernacle of David, I'll say that government is going to be established in Israel, in Jerusalem. And then, of course, the entire world is going to have to abide by the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. And that's going to come out of Jerusalem. Everybody is going to be forced to follow that. Then and only then will you see peace on earth, will you see people and just really life finally flourishing. That's not going to happen under this rulership. Let me grab Habakkuk 2 and verse 16. I want to read this in the NLT. It says, but soon, I'm going to start at verse 15 in the NLT. What sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? You force your cup on them so you can gloat over their shameful nakedness, right? Isn't that what America does? They so-called, quote unquote, point out the shame and the evilness and corruption of all these other different governments just so they can go in there and overthrow it. So they make it seem as if, whether it's true or not, majority of the time, they're just making it up because they really want like the resources in that land or something like that. So they make up something about another country's government, their leader, and what's going on over there, and make it seem as if they're so terrible, right? But then meanwhile, America and Esau, Edom, is doing their own corrupt wickedness behind closed doors. And they've been doing it for years. And they do these things because they're really devil worshipers. They really worship Satan. And that's how you have to worship Satan. That's the sacrifices that Satan wants. And it's working for him. Look, they're ruling and running America right now, the greatest kingdom so far that the world has ever seen. And yes, the Most High is allowing this to happen because he's allowing you to see what happens when his laws aren't established in the earth. So going back to Habakkuk, right, they forced all these different things on different countries and democracy and their point of view, right? Verse 16 says, but soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come, drink, and be exposed. There goes that word again. Drink from the cup of the Lord's judgment, and all your glory will be turned to shame. So this man is being exposed. This man is being put to shame. Everybody is seeing it. The whole world is seeing it. This man is basically a laughingstock right now. And this is all going towards this place going down. This place going down. And that's what we need. We need this place to go down. and for more plagues to hit this place. And then, of course, Jacob's trouble will fully manifest. That microchip, the mark of the beast, is going to be made mandatory. All hell is going to be breaking loose. The Lord is going to continue to watch over and protect his elect. And then World War III breaks out, and then there will be the deliverance of the elect in that time. That's the timeline of prophecy. That's it. Just really two big main prophecies now. The chip and World War III. And then you can say, if you want, a third one is the deliverance of the elect out of the nation of Israel. That's it. So we're extremely, extremely close. Esau is being pointed out. This man is going down. So continue to watch and pray, because our salvation is definitely near. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. Call Halayim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Shalom.